They're going to start talking, okay?
Y'all, a very important event to raise money for some very important people. We are talking with families whose children have a very rare disorder called Syngap 1, and they're here to kind of explain what that is. Say hello to the Miles. We've got Michael, Julie, and Mr. Miller here.
Hey.
And y'all, this is such a rare disease. I had not heard of this until you. Tell me what Syngap 1 is.
So Syngap 1 is a very rare genetic disorder, and Miller was diagnosed with Syngap 1 in July of 2020. And Elsie, who is also a local girl who also has Syngap 1, she's 4, and she was diagnosed in July as well.
And it's neurological?
It is. It is. It's very rare, and there's only 2 in the state of South Carolina that we know of.
You and Elsie are the 2?
Miller and Elsie are the only 2 in South Carolina.
And maybe 350 in the United States?
Yeah, 350 in the U.S. and about 1,100 across the world that have been diagnosed.
Well, is research being done? I think that's why we're having a golf tournament to add to that.
Yes. So lots of research is being done on the Syngap gene itself. So the Syngap gene is responsible for Syngap protein, which is critical for brain function and development. And Miller and Elsie have what's called a de novo mutation. So it's new. It's just a by chance. It's not anything that they inherited from us. And so patients with Syngap 1 only have 1 working copy of the 2 genes, so their brain is really only making about 50% of that protein. And because of this discrepancy, we see lots of different symptoms in our children, and it varies. So they can have intellectual disabilities, autism, drug-resistant epilepsy, behaviors. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot of daily challenges for us, but because of all the research that Syngap Research Fund is doing, we have so much hope for Miller.
He's so happy.
Elsie's future.
Miller is so happy.
He is very happy.
I don't know what he's watching on that telephone.
I love it. And we wanted sweet Elsie to be here with you, and unfortunately she had a stint in the hospital. So we're thinking about you, Miss Elsie, and we had some pictures up so you could see her. Are they like friends? Did they become friends through this? Did y'all know each other before this?
We did not know each other. We moved here from Louisiana last year, and they were the very first people, of course, that we met when we moved here because we knew that they had.
Thank goodness you have someone else so you can kind of go through this together. How did y'all even know to do testing for it, or that something was different? Was he just acting different?
Well, we noticed he was having delays and having trouble meeting milestones about 6 months old. And so that began the process of trying to find answers. And he had just turned 5 when we finally got an answer.
And he's 7 now.
And he's 7 now.
And a neurologist diagnosed him?
Geneticist.
Okay.
So that happened right before the COVID shutdown. So it took from January until July to get an answer.
God, that's so hard for y'all as parents too. You're like, we just want some answers so we know what to do next. So the event that we're going to be having next weekend, and the weather's going to be amazing because we're getting it all out of the way.
We'll make some phone calls.
Yes, it's the first annual Scramble for Syngap. Tell me what's going to go on.
You can talk about.
Yeah, well, I'll touch on Syngap Research Fund as an organization. So Syngap Research Fund was founded in 2018 by Mike and Ashley Graglia, who are also Syngap parents. And so the mission of SRF is to improve the quality of patients with Syngap through research and working for therapies. And so the good thing about what makes SRF unique is the fact that the founders cover 100% of the operating costs. So dollar for dollar, the donations that we get go straight to research. So it's just an amazing thing that SRF does.
Now this is going to be at the Cherokee Valley Golf Course.
Yes.
It is.
And we need to sign up because we'll raise some money. And put a team together maybe, or what?
Well, our golf teams are sold out as of yesterday.
Yeah, that's
completely sold out.
Yes.
But we're having an after party at Core 450, and so that'll start at 5 o'clock. And tickets are $5 in advance and $10 at the door.
Well, and things are going on at the party, like music, food, I guess.
We're going to have a live band. The Brooks Dixon Band's going to be joining us. A silent auction, and there's some incredible incredible items that have been donated.
Oh, that's great.
We're going to have bounce houses for the kids, food from Core 450 is going to be available for purchase, and more. So it's going to be great.
Anything too that the public that's watching right now that they can do to help, you know, families like yours? I mean, one is just saying the name, because, you know, again, until we met, I had never even heard of it.
So we want to raise awareness, because I mean, there's only 2 that have been diagnosed in South Carolina. Most people have never heard of Syngap 1. So you can go to syngapresearchfund.org and make a donation. You can come to our event. We're going to have a tent set up with all kinds of information on what is Syngap.
Travelers Rest, Cherokee Valley. I just wonder how many doctors you went to before you found an answer.
Oh gosh, a lot.
It was a long, tough season for us, but coming out on the other side, we now have a community of hundreds and hundreds of parents that really we're family.
Well, you're doing good stuff. Miller, thanks for coming, buddy.
Yes, Miller, you look so great. You got so dressed up in your fancy little shirt. So you
tell Jack and Megan hi.
Bye. Yes.
We said we were going to wave to Elsie.
Bye. And Miss Elsie, yes, we're thinking about you too, sweet girl, and our sweet family. So thank y'all so much for coming on.
Thank y'all for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to have all of you.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break and pay some bills with these commercials, and we'll be right back.